The UK's programme of mass vaccinations continues, of course. 494,163 people have had their first dose of one of the three approved COVID-19 vaccines in the latest 24-hour period, taking the overall number of people who've had their first jab to nearly 11.5 million. Mobile testing for areas in England with new cases of the South African coronavirus variant is being expanded. At the beginning of the week, surge testing began, which included door-to-door visits after cases were not connected to foreign travel. Today, testing began in parts of Worcestershire, Bristol and South Gloucestershire after a small number of cases were discovered there. Well, our health correspondent, Catherine, is here with us now, and there are new developments on this tonight. Catherine.
Yes, the FT is reporting some early data that the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine doesn't appear to be protecting against mild to moderate symptoms caused by the South African variant. Now, it comes just a day after the pharmaceutical company said that the vaccine is effective at protecting against the UK variant. There are some caveats, though. This is preliminary findings from a small study of about 2,000 people in South Africa, and it's not been peer-reviewed. There's been no comment from AstraZeneca or Oxford University on this study. But crucially, it's being reported that the vaccine seems to be effective in preventing deaths and hospital admissions. Now, yesterday, the head of AstraZeneca said it wouldn't be surprising if levels of protection dip with the South Africa variant, given what we've seen in early results from other vaccines. Developers are already working on tweaking their vaccines to cope with new emerging variants. It's something that already happens with the flu jab, and it may be in future that we need to have a booster shot each year.
OK, Catherine, thank you. Well, tomorrow morning, Andrew Marr will be joined by the architect of the Oxford vaccine, Professor Sarah Gilbert, and the vaccine minister, Nadeem Zahawi. That's 9 a.m. here on BBC One to discuss that. Myanmar has seen the biggest day of protest since the military took power in a coup on Monday. Thousands of workers and young activists took to the streets in the city of Yangon as military rulers implemented a near-total internet shutdown. The protesters are calling for the release of those detained by the army, including the elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Our correspondent Jonathan Head reports.
5 days after the military takeover, and people are testing the limits. This group included factory workers from the western suburbs of Yangon, but led by young political activists, shouting their condemnation of the new regime and their support for the ousted government. The crowd grew as it headed towards the downtown area of Myanmar's largest city, where a line of police blocked their way, offering a perfect backdrop for the Hunger Games salute that's become the symbol of popular defiance in this region. It's hard to gauge how much of the country shares this sense of outrage, but it's a fair bet this coup is widely unpopular. The protest was broadcast as it happened on a dozen or more social media pages, but the military began shutting down the internet and blocking popular apps, so that through the day we watched Myanmar slipping back towards the digital dark age of a decade ago. Protests have taken place outside Myanmar too, with Aung San Suu Kyi in custody once more. These are painful echoes of a wretched past. Are Myanmar's generals really prepared to return to the bad old days? Perhaps even they don't know yet what they'll do after inflicting such a blow to their country's democratic hopes. Jonathan Head, BBC News.
Here, extra police officers have been deployed in South London and given additional stop and search powers after a series of stabbings in the past 24 hours. One man was killed during a fight at a block of flats in Croydon last night. Police are also investigating 4 other incidents that happened yesterday evening in the Croydon, Wandsworth and Chislehurst areas. Detectives say the attacks are not linked. 4 people have been arrested. Now, severe weather threatens disruption to parts of the country, with snow expected to hit the southeast overnight and gale force winds anticipated. Snow and ice warnings already exist for much of England, Scotland and eastern Wales, and from early tomorrow morning, a Met Office amber snow warning meaning travel issues and power cuts are likely, and that's in place for parts of Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex and Kent. It's time for the sport with Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes, who's at the BBC Sports Centre. Hi, Lizzie.
Hello, Kate. Thank you. Good evening. Scotland pulled off a major shock on the opening day of the Six Nations Championship by beating favourites England at Twickenham for the first time in 38 years. Our correspondent Jo Wilson watched their 11-6 victory.
Scotland at Twickenham, history makers, dressed for the times, in a stadium uniquely empty. And that trophy, what's missing there? Scotland's name. Never Six Nations winners. Not yet. England were stretched soon and often. Scotland go for space, to the wing, to the ball. How close was that? Yeah, well, try again. This time they passed the ball to Duhan van der Merwe, who came to Edinburgh via Pretoria. Tried to stop him. England couldn't. Scotland led. At half-time, they were 2 points ahead. England's problem was that they couldn't get near the ball. When Scotland had it, they kept it. England's coach was in a hurry to do something, but his players were running into Scotland, into trouble, running out of time. A last grab of the ball and a kick into touch, then hands to the skies for the first time since 1983. Winners here.
We can't look back because we can't change what's happened in the past, but we're very much in control of what happens in the future, and we wanted to write our own little bit of history as individuals and as a collective. And today we've done exactly that. We've got one hell of a happy changing room.
One regret? Well, imagine the reaction of the Scottish fans had they been filling those empty seats. Well, no matter. Enjoy the images of a famous, deserved victory distantly. Jo Wilson, BBC News, Twickenham.
Last year's runners-up, France, looked in ominously good form as they swept aside Italy, scoring 7 tries in Rome to win 50 points to 10. There was another remarkable innings from England cricket captain Joe Root, who hit a double century in the first test against India in Chennai. England closed day 2 on 555 for 8, as Adam Wilde reports.
Smiles and celebration. It's a sight English cricket fans are getting rather used to. Joe Root had already passed 100 when this morning's masterclass began, a study in calm control. If that was the foundation, Ben Stokes brought the strokes. Those empty stands make an inviting target. Still, how big a score were England actually aiming for? India running out of ideas. Well, almost. Tempt Stokes into another mighty heave. India clinging on just about. With his partner falling short, the captain wasn't about to follow. This brought up his 200 in his 100th Test match, the first player ever to do that. Root reached 218 before he finally faltered. Congratulations from opposition and teammates. All knew they'd seen something special.
Yeah, he's in phenomenal form, making things look very, very easy. And he's got an answer and an option for everything that's thrown at him. And yeah, he's just a delight to watch him at the moment.
England batted out the day, now firmly in command. Joe Root even tidying up after. Their inspirational captain setting the standard till the very end. Adam Wilde, BBC News.
Match of the day and sports scene are coming up later, so avert your attention if you don't want to know what happened yet, because some of the results are coming now. Manchester United missed out on the chance of going level with their City rivals at the top of the Premier League after giving away a 2-goal lead to draw 3-3 with Everton at Old Trafford. Celtic beat Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership, but they're still 20 points behind leaders Rangers. Hibernians strengthened their grip on third place after a 2-0 victory over their nearest rivals, Aberdeen. And that's it from me. Back to you, Kate.
Lizzie, thank you so much. And that's all from me and the team here. So for now, a very good night. Bye-bye.
Hello there. It's been called the Beast from the East too, and during tomorrow we'll find a strengthening easterly wind that will bring in much colder air, and that means snow falling more widely. Recent days the focus of the snow has been in Scotland. It's still snowing here overnight, as it is in northern England. We may well find some wintry weather heading towards the southwest before that moves away and skies start to clear, allowing temperatures to drop, leaving us some icy conditions by the morning, by which time we're seeing some snow arriving in the southeast of England and East Anglia. And it's here that we have this amber snow warning from the Met Office, covering parts of Suffolk, also down into Essex and Kent, widely 5 to 10 centimetres, maybe more in places. And there'll be some blizzards and drifting as the winds strengthen. It's not just snowing here, though. It'll be snowing widely in the southeast of England and East Anglia. And further north, the winds will blow in frequent snow showers right the way across Scotland, northern England into North Wales, perhaps 1 or 2 for Northern Ireland, drier in the southwest and the Midlands. Now, it is going to be a windier day, a colder day, 2-3 degrees perhaps at best. Add on the strength of the wind, mind you, and it'll feel more like -4 or -5. Now, how long will the beast be with us? Well, during Monday and Tuesday, we've still got these cold, strong winds off the North Sea, bringing in the moisture, bringing in some more snow showers, particularly to the eastern side of the UK. But perhaps by the middle of the week, the winds are lighter, it should turn drier, but it's still going to be cold.
I've got to be honest and straight up.
2020 was a mess.
I feel anxious when I wake up.
We catch confusion like a virus.
We've left the earth in a state.
Friends are out of work and robbed of the future.
I don't know if I'm doing enough or if it's all too late.
Everyone should be equal. At the end of the day, we're all just people.
Times have been hard for us all, with everything last year has thrown. But we're on your side. You are not alone. Whatever this year brings, we'll face it together. The future's not cancelled.
Criminals make mistakes. That's how we catch them.